I found a new friend in Jijona, so I thought I would ask her a little bit about the history of this sweet little town that's high up in the hills above Alicante. The Christmas season begins in early November, goes all the way to January 6th with a zillion different culinary traditions. But the quintessential way of knowing that Christmas time is coming in Spain is the appearance of a traditional candy called turrón. Turrón is an almond-studded nougat that can be found all around the world and all year long. But in Spain, the southern Valencian region of Alicante, where we live, is the world production center for this candy, with a history dating back to the 15th century. As the story goes, a Moorish king planted hundreds of almond trees in the area in the 1400s for his young, homesick Scandinavian wife because their showy springtime blossoms reminded her of snow. Fast forward to today, when the region produces over 40,000 tons of almonds, and a lot of it goes into this candy. We're about to experience one of the best Christmas treats you could ever have because we're visiting Primitivo and Sons, the oldest producer in Jijona, dating back to 1850, who graciously provided a glimpse into their multi-step, multi-day production. So we suited up in bonnets and gowns for a personal tour guided by 6th generation Primitivo. He explained that almonds, honey, sugar, and eggs are essential to every turrón recipe. The company only uses buttery rich Marcona almonds. Once they're toasted to a warm and burnished brown, the process continues as honey and sugar are heated and mixed together for an hour until they become fluffy white syrup. Then the heat is increased to a high fire and egg whites thinned with water are added to the syrup and stirred for another hour. If the goal is to make Turrón de Alicante, the final step is to fold in toasted almonds using giant punche or hand paddles, and then they cool it enough to press it into loaf molds or their signature round tart molds to set. The process for the equally popular creamy style Turrón de Jijona takes another 2 days to complete. The candied mixture is chilled on large tables until it's pretty gummy and really firm, and then run through the oldest stone grinder in Jijona for 20 minutes. The resulting paste rests for a day when it's returned to the stone grinders for a 3-pass process. And then they transfer it to big vats where it's pounded for 4 to 5 hours over heat with a boicho, a high-speed, large pestle that emulsifies the mixture into creamy paste. And I tried my best not to hit the pestle with that paddle to test its consistency. 2 more days of rest in loaf or tart pans with a finishing sprinkle of cinnamon, and then it's hand-sliced and packaged up by the thousands to ship out for the holidays. And just when you thought it was all about almonds, turrón de chocolate shows up too. And another popular one, turrón de yema, a version that uses up all those egg yolks, and it's finished off with a crunchy caramelized top, searing in all that yummy flavor. Next, it was time to move on to some traditional small bite, totally addictive cookies called pasteles gloria, made with almond marzipan, filled with sweet potato in the dough, and coated with a beautiful sweet egg white and topped with powdered sugar. Then there's a version called pasteles de yema that's filled with egg yolk and brushed with egg yolk before being baked. But not to be outdone, one of my favorites is the melt-in-your-mouth polvorones that bake in the oven to a totally golden brown, and then they're dusted with, you got it, more powdered sugar. And even though it's not finished with powdered sugar, there is one more little pop-in-your-mouth almond-shaped treat called almendrucos that you can never eat just one of. finally, it's time for the all-important taste test of Turrón de Jijona.
Good. It's marvelous. It's super creamy, but it's incredibly crunchy. There's little bits of nuts that are blended in with the paste. Yeah. I wish you were here to taste this and to see this incredible experience. You have to come to Xixona to visit and try some. My two favorites. But these are my favorites too. And you can't leave without one of these. This is a classic. Take a look at all the goodies I got. And thank you very much.
Thank you. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. Encantada. Hasta luego.
And if you liked these Spanish treats, click on this playlist for more desserts from Spain.